Old Coot here, coming back at you with another exciting video. I'm about halfway. If you saw the video before this one, you'll see where I'm at in the process of doing this upper intake for a Toyota or Lexus 4-cylinder engine, give or take the years from about 2014 to 2018 or so, give or take. But this is where your air box is, your air cleaner, right? The air cleaner is in there. This particular person had a K&N in there. Then this is your mass airflow sensor. You want to make sure you stay clear of that with any of this Seafoam product. Make sure you stay clear of that. What I did was I took the hose out just enough to where you could see how far or how deep or how much in there this hose that's supplied by Seafoam needs to be in there. Here's the hook, the black hook. Like I said, I encourage you all to watch the video just before this one. But basically the process is you're gonna unclip the airbox, take this off, right? Engine's off, hopefully, and you have, give or take, around a quarter of a tank of gas left. You're gonna take the liquid pour-in version of this, put that in the gas tank, the entire bottle. It treats, I believe, like that quarter tank of gas, so that'll treat the fuel system from the gas cap all the way to the injector, so that they're spraying into the cylinder to clean off that built-up carbon. What this does is this is gonna clean the throttle body, right? The butterfly valve that's on the throttle body, and it's also gonna clean the valves and the upper intake of your engine. And that happens because most GDI engines these days don't have a way to clean themselves. It was more efficient, but it created more carbon deposit buildup. So that's why a product like Seafoam actually works. So anyways, with that being said, once you've got your airbox cover mostly removed, what you can do is you can take it out the whole way if you need to. You could either disconnect the mass airflow sensor, you can disconnect the cables here or not. It's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. You're responsible for your own actions. You kind of get a sense of what I'm saying there. But basically what you want to do is the hose that's supplied with the Seafoam can, right? Eventually you're going to connect these two together. You want to make sure you put it in there at least 3 to 4 inches, or just measure out like 4 fingers. Like 4 fingers, that's about the amount of hose that should be going into there, so that it's as close to that butterfly valve as can be. According to the instructions on the can, they'll tell you to be about 1/4 of an inch away from the butterfly valve. Unfortunately, with this particular type of motor and intake system, you'd almost have to go really deep in there to get 1/4 of an inch away from the butterfly valve. In this case, this person's car that they assigned to me, let's say, to actually do this service, what I did was about 3 to 4 inches of that tubing in there basically does the same damn thing. So if you want to fight it over with each other in the comments section, go ahead. But in this particular situation, with this particular configuration of intake and motor and whatever, as long as you get this hose in there about 3 to 4 inches, you'll be okay. What the hook does is the hook is designed to keep it in there so it doesn't move around while you're spraying this and doing its thing. What you do eventually want to do is, if you saw the video just before this one, you'll see the setup where I basically reconnected the airbox, clipped all the clips, make sure that you loosen and then tighten this screw to make sure that's got a nice snug fit. It doesn't have to be overly tight. You basically connect your tube to your Seafoam, hold the can upside down, and then push down and spray until you get most of the contents out of this. I noticed that in other videos, and also in this specific situation, every time I do this, there's always going to be about 1 ounce of fluid left in here. It kind of sucks. It is what it is, but you don't need to squeeze out every last little drop of this can into that intake. As long as you get, the majority, the bulk of it down to like wherever you can get it down to, you're fine. You are going to reach a certain point where no more liquid will come out of here. That's totally fine. The most important thing though is when you do connect this part of the top to the hose, make sure you've got a nice, tight, secure fit. Because if that hose disconnects from this while you're pushing and spraying, guess what? You're going to spray your entire engine bay. So try to avoid that. Check them once in a while. You could take the pressure off. Just check it. Use 2 hands. Press the tube back in there. Make sure you got a nice, secure fit. Wear safety goggles. Wear gloves if you have to. Whatever the case may be. But that last little ounce that's in here, what do you do with that last little ounce? What I do is after I disconnect all this, so let me do that right now actually. I'm just gonna pull it out. That's what she said. So basically when I pull this out right here, that's I was from this point to there about 3 to 4 inches deep inside of the throttle body intake, or sorry, deep inside of the intake hose that leads to the throttle body. So once you're at this point, what you can do now is make sure that you reseat your air box, which I've done here. Make sure you reclip it. Make sure those clips are inside where they're supposed to be. You can clip this back, right? Clip this one back, and then retighten this hose with the Phillips head screwdriver. So you are going to need that. Remember, engine's off. Engine's off. If you're going to be touching this hose or doing any kind of modifications that you need to adjust, make sure your engine's off. Like I said, watch the video just before this one for a better description. But anyways, once you're at this point and you've tightened your bolt and you've got all of your tools removed from your engine bay, what I would do is take this, right? Take this, the tube and the bottle, turn it upside down, go back to the fuel cap, undo the full fuel cap, and try to see if there's any more in here that I can spray into the fuel cap, right, and into where the gasoline goes into. That's what I would do. Anyways, hope this video out there helps someone. The key points to remember here are: take your clips off, undo the screw here just enough to get it loose to where you could pull the cover off, the air cleaner cover off. Take your tube, the red tube that's supplied by Seafoam, give yourself about 3 to 4 inches of length, and then shove this whole thing into that tube, right into right there. You want to go down in a downward motion so that the spraying part comes out this end. It's as close to the throttle body as you can reasonably get it. Let's say that. Then after you've reconnected this back on, you've tightened everything up, you've tightened up your Phillips screw, go ahead and have your buddy start the engine up, right? Your car should be running smooth and normal. Have your buddy go to about 2,000 RPMs or so. Once you hit an idle of 2,000 RPMs, connect the other end of the tube right here to your spray Seafoam part, and then basically turn your can upside down and go ahead and spray, right? So that you can get as much liquid out of here as you possibly can. Like I said, you're gonna be left with about an ounce or two in the can. It's totally fine. Just take this, when the process is all said and done, reverse the process to get everything disconnected, clean up all your tools, take this over to your gas tank, and then go ahead and pour in or spray in as much of this as you can into the gas, so that way you're trying to get as much of this out of there as you can. Anyways, hope this video out there helps someone. I will put links down below in the description to the Seafoam spray and also the Seafoam pour. They usually sell them as a kit, so you can buy both together. That's even better. But check out those links. I'm the old Coot, and I'll catch you on the next exciting video.